Give me 1 second. I'm situated. So I scheduled a live event. Um, hold on. Here we go. Feedback. Hang on. D.A.M.N. Okay, that's better. So I scheduled a live video. Number one, I just don't have time. They be sitting on here cussing your asses out. But today is probably gonna be that. And the reason I don't have time is because there's everything on fire and there's so much shit going on. I actually have to do the shit that I do, which is help people. That's number one. Also, I understand that I have to do what I tell y'all about, which is systems work. That's number two. But I don't even know where to start. I know where to start. We gonna start with how much we get on this little blue out and complain our asses off by GRU. For people that don't live in Gainesville, GRU is the goddamn utility company that most people can't afford to pay their light bill. The rates keep going up. Most people can't afford to pay double deposits. Most people can't even afford or have the ability to tap into any resources that they got. Why in the hell is it that we took the time to build a campaign for people to come to the table so we can actually advocate to change the shit at GRU? Two people signed up to let us know what their issues was with GRU so we could do something about it. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but my time is valuable. And whenever I give up my time to do something that is beneficial to us, the shit we always complain about, and we don't do what we're supposed to do, that's like you're stealing from me. And I pay about a lot of stuff. My money ain't never been one of them. My time is money, like so many should be. It pissed me off because of all the energy y'all gave to Will and Jada, to all the energy y'all give to Kim and Kanye, to all the energy you give to basketball, football, and any other bullshit thing that don't directly impact your life. How is it that you are so lazy, so distracted that somebody's trying to help you with GRU and you won't even help the people that's trying to help you? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I be so pissed off because I'm literally saying something I shouldn't have to say. Why should I have to beg you to tell us your issues with GRU when we know everybody got issues with GRU? But then you complain when don't nobody advocate for you. You complain every month you open up that goddamn bill. You complain when you got to pay an additional deposit when somebody is trying to help you. So you don't have those issues and you won't even help us help you. We're going to go down. Next, and I say this all the time. Yet again, we got another newspaper article about a fight at Eastside. And we co-signed and screaming from the rooftops about kids being arrested. I I can't I can't make it make sense if I try. Number one, if you got a 19-year-old going to high school, that means that's a person with an IEP. So let me help y'all with something that's basic as hell. Number two, whenever there's a fight culture, that means there's an issue with the goddamn culture. Number three, they had a whole fight over at PK Young that was larger than that one. Have you heard about it? They had a student that they thought brought a gun to school at Bullsh. Have you heard about it? They had an IB student, I think his name was Walter Noel or whatever it is, I got the name, that was found to have 16 grams of weed and a scale at each side. They told it to make it go away because it's an IB student. The coach over there make him do some bear crawls. He bruised his hand doing bear crawls. His mammy, and that's what I said, with her entitled ass, decided to file a complaint and call DCF regarding the coach making him do bear crawls. Not we addressing that he had 16 grams of weed on the campus in the scale. So anybody know, since we always want to talk about drug paraphernalia, that if he got a scale, he ain't smoking no weed, he's selling it. Have you heard about it? Do you know about it? But y'all can always get y'all asses on here and co-sign bullshit. Somebody called me today and stated, well, are there any men that's at the table? Hell no. Because all the men that are involved, they want to do my organization. And I want to mentor my way. And I wanted to play football so I could puff my chest and say how wonderful I am with the youth because I'm winning football games that I'm betting on. Yes, I am coming for youth football coaches. The fact that many of these kids that are in the trouble they're in got touched by y'all part of the problem. But additionally, many of the men who was in the streets and got out the streets, where the fuck y'all at? For all the ones who did it right and went to college, where y'all at? Why is it the police's responsibility to heal a community when we know at inception the purpose of police was what? Slave patrols. To do what? Oppress black people. This ain't even rocket science. The fact that people are shocked at kids, white kids included, that were excited about being on the front lines because we pepper spraying kids. The fact that y'all refuse to act and do anything that means any goddamn thing to anybody, but you want to get on here and show everybody how you balling. You can't be if you live in a town where the kids destroying each other. You ain't balling, nobody. You ain't winning. The fact that we're not even talking about the number of parents that reach out. I got a mom right now just at her wit's end trying to get their child to go to school. The school won't even call her back. But nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about if all this is going on the east side. Why is it there's a whole alumni association that wants to be there? Why is there a whole alumni band that wants to be there? Literally, I gave my time driving from Ocala with gas, almost $5 a gallon, to go sit in a meeting trying to help Eastside's band be more representative of the kids at the goddamn school. This ain't even rocket science. The fact that that meeting happened weeks ago, they were promised a follow-up meeting, and the only ask is to be more deliberate about recruiting students and about incorporating some of the things that was fun about the band to give kids positive outlets. The fact that 7 kids in a lottery got in a car accident at 4 o'clock in the morning, but we so busy look at the parents and look what they did, not realizing that this is a culture issue and not realizing that a lot of the kids that are getting in trouble come from what everybody deemed to be good homes. That's also on the small scale. Let's talk about on a larger scale because we're sitting quiet now. They leaked a Supreme Court opinion overturning Roe versus Wade. So what does that mean? If you overturn Roe versus Wade, they can make people getting abortions illegal. Let's talk about this. First of all, abortion is a reproductive health issue. I don't get to tell nobody what to do with their body. But we are so stupid, and I'm definitely coming for anybody in the church that want to cite that because the Bible says zero about abortion. But we so busy peddling bullshit that we don't even know it. So I'm gonna start there. Number two, well, oh, it's a sin or always this. It ain't no different than the fornication, adultery, and anything else it took to get a baby. But everybody didn't go and get pregnant because they was having consensual sex. What about kids that's victims of incest? Because I used to work on mother baby and labor delivery at Shands. And if I could tell you the number of 13 and 14-year-old girls that was pregnant from pastors, grown men, from uncles, from mom's boyfriends that everybody knew and there was been made to keep babies, it would blow your mind. The number of people that I knew that had babies they found out were going to have serious health issues, and that would have been right. But even if it's just the best choice, whether it's an abusive situation or whatever it is, it ain't our choice to make. But on a larger scale, abortion is a reproductive health issue. And when you tell somebody what they can't do as it relates to having a baby, you're telling them they can't have access to birth control if it means life or death. You're telling them that that's the first step, that they can't get what they need as it pertains to be it battling fibroids. You're telling them that they can't get the proper cancer treatments. That's what you're stating. But even outside of the whole abortion and reproductive rights issue, do you now not know that even when we're talking about civil rights, and abortion rights. The time frame between the two wasn't that different. So if you're okay with them overturning a person's right to have an abortion, it means you're okay with them in the Civil Rights Act when it came to housing, when it came to jobs, when it comes to incarceration. We literally are one step away from that. But I'm too dope, not me. Y'all too worried about Kim and Kanye. Y'all too busy co-signing people spending thousands of dollars on a fucking prom, and half the goddamn children ain't even graduated. Do we want to talk about that? We're too busy co-signing, spending thousands of dollars on prom. The kids ain't going nowhere after high school. What the fuck? What blows and boggles my mind is people who actually have it don't even do all of that because they understand that spending thousands of dollars on a prom night is not a good business decision. I don't give a damn what you do with your money. If you're such a baller, a boss, and a business person, then you would know that people buying these luxury vehicles or renting luxury vehicles and spending thousands of dollars on dresses is just not a good business decision. And people that actually have it make business decisions. That's what real bosses do. So yes, if you feel like I'm coming for you, I probably am. No, I don't spend your money for you. But what I want you to know and understand is how silly we look. Somebody put that East Side is the most infamous school in Lockwood County, but that's because we co-signed it. So I want y'all to know when my sons went to Bullsh, there was robberies in the bathrooms. Did y'all hear about the same kind of fight that they had in East Side? They had they had twice when Keon was there, and three separate times when Petey was there. One time, Petey was almost one of the kids involved in the fight. He walked away because his mammy crazy, and they knew I'd be at the school in 5 minutes. But what I'm stating to you is, we all know the parent that I am, and my child still was not perfect. I want us to know and see and understand what is going on around us. In addition, tomorrow, City Commission, Rana Sacco, you know I can't stand her, has an ordinance. They had an open container ordinance. And they did it for UF students that you can walk around with your open container after the club and different things like that with your drink. Now she wants to make the open container ordinance be more strict. All of the backup, and the backup means all of their reasoning, all of the stuff that they quote unquote gather is black people. It's black people drinking, it's black people on Easter, it's black people on this. I don't know about you, but the one thing I learned very early on when I went to college is most often white people drink us under the table. Most often, the most wild bar fights and everything I see was from drunk white people, not black people. So ask yourself, in a college town where most people are out drinking freely are white people, that anything they do to justify doing something is to overpolice black people in neighborhoods. And I keep asking, I keep screaming, I keep yelling, I keep working, because somebody gonna listen somewhere. I need people to know and understand. No, I ain't been in Facebook jail. I've been working. And I have decided that I'm going to reclaim some of my time. I told you all that in the beginning of the year. If you refuse to help, I refuse to exhaust more time and energy, even letting you know what's going on and why it's wrong. Somebody asked me because the city of Gainesville rolled out the midnight basketball program. And it's like you weren't mentioned anywhere in it. You know why? Because their version of midnight basketball is bullshit. But you know, we so busy waiting for everybody else to handle our business, we're not paying attention to know enough to know that they did enough to say we did something. So that when it doesn't work, they're gonna blame us for what doesn't work. Their midnight basketball program is once a night, once a week, a weekend, once out of the month. The games are 20-minute games. So that means you're not even gonna be there that long. What input that means? Our version of midnight basketball was every Friday was all the practices and stuff like that. Every Saturday was the games. And the games run from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m., 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. Why? Because that means you got kids occupied for that entire gap of time. And that means they will have done so much and engaged with so much, they'll be tired. Our version of midnight basketball incorporates kids who don't want to play basketball being able to be a part of a pep band or a community band. Our version of midnight basketball is that people who are not into that can do graphic design and artistry, or they can do gaming and different things like that. Instead of shoving something at kids and saying, well, this is what you got to do because this is all you got. Our version of midnight basketball actually deliberately incorporated mental health services protesters, but actually having people who provide services to be our volunteers and be people a part of what's going on. So the trust is already built. Our version of midnight basketball includes a week, a day throughout the week. We can come in and actually do things like employability skills. We can do things like budget planning and finance with our kids to teach them basic skills to survive in the community, to give them something. You see where I'm going? But the puzzle piece is that didn't happen because y'all keep letting people who don't give a fuck about us make decisions for us. Case in point, there's a student at Eastside High School named Dominique Carter. I attended the MLK breakfast that they had. Dominique was the recipient. She read her story. It's a high school student. She read her story about her family being evicted and different things like that. Not because her mom was lazy, her mom was sick with a chronic illness. She read her story about how being a homeless student and the school bus will come pick them up in front of the hotel for kids to turn around and pick at them. Pick that in school for not having a hairdo. Pick that in school for wearing the same clothes from year to year. In that room, you got the bee's knees, the who's who. Namely, the current mayor, Lauren Poe, the person running for mayor, Harvey Ward, and another person running for mayor, David Ariola. Out of all of the people, so I like the way that they did it is everybody who donated, I gave a pledge card. They read out who it was who donated and what they donated. Ask yourself why your mayor and somebody running for mayor want the people that helped to give that donation. Ask yourself that. Ask yourself how this one child can name every single thing that's wrong in the community in her life. And it took for her to go through that, for them to sit in a room and raise $22,000 for it. Ask yourself that. These people weren't provoked enough to give $5 or $25, but they're making decisions for you. While they're making decisions for you, you too busy co-signing kids being arrested and pepper sprayed. You too busy talking about them badass kids, not realizing we're the ones raised the badass kids. Not realizing, but this shit was the same. Because I remember being in middle school, and there was a girl named Valinda that all the kids on the school bus jumped on, beat her up, beat spotters and everything. She got off the bus on Lake Road. You ain't talking about that. I remember being in middle and high school where there were fights that took place because kids are kids. I remember sharing with you that kids don't have the cognitive ability to sometimes have impulse control. So when you're living in a culture where I could come up, where I could be known and I could be relevant by a video of me fighting goes viral, why not? In the middle of this, they had 4 fights over at alcohol. Have you heard about it? To the point, another child got stabbed with a pencil, but it's Kanapaha. Have you heard about it? But you want to help co-sign Eastside because it's the black school. I remember when I went to Eastside and it was drugs on the bus with IB students. That was swept up under the rug too. And I keep trying to get y'all to understand all of the bullshit you're indoctrinated with. But in the middle of all this chaos, you got Dr. Garage's guy. She got education equalizers. She had an event on April 30th because the work she does is to get us and our kids, and I mean us, I mean people that look like me with a little melanin in their skin, the ability not only to go to college, but to go to college and have it funded. So we're not around here waiting on somebody to forgive our goddamn student loans. I need to know why the room went packed down. You know why? Because we're too busy wanting people to think our kids are doing well when they're not, instead of getting them what they need. We're too busy saying it's okay for them to do enough to get by, because when they graduate, they'll go ahead and get a basic job, setting them up for a life of struggle. I want to know, why is it that we co-sign all the bullshit, but we're begging you to help you? I want to know why you're sick of Gainesville, you're sick of what's going on with the kids, but you're not doing anything to help. I want to know. And sometimes the help isn't even volunteering. Sometimes helping is just showing the fuck up with y'all. I want to know. That's the reason that I scheduled a live video, because I want it to be scheduled so that it doesn't get lost. This video streams to my Facebook page, it streams to my YouTube page, and a few other places. Because I don't have the time to co-sign and babysit for somebody to wait for me to give them some information for you to do nothing except see me and say, hey, you that public speaker that be on Facebook. I don't need that. Trust me when I tell you I don't need that. What I need is not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning because I give a fuck. What I need is for you not to be depending on me and say, oh, they're going to do it. And so let me take some ownership and figure out what to do. What I need It's for us to stop helping to perpetuate this system of white supremacy and the bullshit and understand that the reason that our kids are fighting each other is because they're hurting. The reason our kids ain't doing shit is because we ain't equipped them. The reason that everything is imploding is because it was designed that way. You live in a system that is working exactly how it's designed, and you're helping it to work that way. What I need you to know and understand is there's plenty of shit that I can be doing. There's plenty of other stuff that Gail Johnson could be doing. Us around here running candidates and worried about GRU and worried about voter registration and worried about who can't vote. This ain't even about us. It's about you. So what I need you to do is I always say, when I say get off a live video, stop saying, oh, yes, you got them told, and actually listen to the message and then do something about it. What I need you to stop doing is to take a breather. Whenever you see something reported in the newspaper, ask yourself, you have all the information, not only about that situation, but about other situations around it in order to even know if it's being handled properly, justly, and fairly. What I need you to know, even when it came to the students with the bomb threats, some kids got sent off to a camp. One of the kids who should have got in more trouble than everybody else got basically the same deal as everybody else. And that was the white boy Prescott. He got caught with drugs. He did 4 bomb threats instead of 1. And he actually has an arson case in Ohio. Why is it that he got an adjudication withhold, charged with a youthful offender, and just on probation, while other kids who've never been in any trouble got sent off the camps? Why is it for even kids who got the same deal as him, had never been in any trouble, got the same thing as him? Does that sound just to you? How is that even justified? And parents thinking that Koloff did their kids a favor when that never should have been the case in the first place. I'm so frustrated. I'm always frustrated. I'm frustrated at the bullshit. But when do we take ownership? When do we say, you know what? I live in this neighborhood. These kids crazy as hell. And what am I going to do? When do we say, you know what? The principal, Leroy Eastside, Latroy, Lincoln, and the other schools, we're not going to sit back and watch these kids destroy each other. Or are you going to wait until it escalates? Then your child, who's the innocent bystander, get involved, and then now you want the bottom to fall out. Are you going to wait till somebody gets stabbed seriously and hurt when it hurts them for the rest of their life? Then you're gonna want to call me because now you want to blow it up and you want the bottom to fall out. When do you realize that we are distracted with all the bullshit? We are all so busy trying to outdo each other that we don't even see what's going on in front of us. The fact that they are about to overturn a law related to abortion, and mind you, pay attention. Look at Florida. If you don't look anywhere else, the same time they had an abortion bill is the same time they got a bill about not teaching critical race theory, which literally is talking about racism and systems. From there, you got the Supreme Court opinion. They're doing it all together. Y'all don't see how they relate? I need you to. Do we understand? In a place like Cuba, that's a great place to start. We talk about Cuba and communism and different things like that. Cuba is a totalitarian government. Basically, is what Trump was trying to enact. We know that DeSantis is the governor in Florida, and he's bold about his messiness. He's bold about his maliciousness, and he knows he can get away with it. We ain't gonna do shit but sit on the sidelines and be like, damn. That's why we had that bill HB1. That's anti-protesting. That's what all the shit going on with Disney. That's the reason that they got this Don't Say Gay bill. That's the reason they got this abortion law. At the same time, they don't want to teach about racism and systems because they all go together. So when you justify not advocating for people that identify as queer, you are justifying not advocating for Black people being fucked over. When you justify us not being treated fairly in the system about a mistake that we made or a bad decision, you're justifying systems staying and remaining the way they are. When you justify and don't care that they only want certain textbooks in schools because you don't understand, but they understand the importance of knowing your identity, and that if you don't know it, you will take anything that's laid out, then we're going to be all right. Y'all always talk about how bold and how cocky and how arrogant I am to come across. I am that way when I learn to act like a white woman named Stacy. So to many of the people that weaponize their tears, at the same time saying I'm not entitled to mine, fuck you. To everybody, and I said this and I made this post and I mean it just like this, who said we were overreacting with Trump becoming president and with DeSantis becoming governor, fuck you. Because either you got your head buried in the sand, I don't know what you got. But what I do know is this, that when we get to a point where we back to Jim Crow and black code, I will have went on record for saying that. So to all you supposed allies that skate the fence, to all of you supposed progressives that really don't give a fuck about people, you part of the problem. So while DeSantis and Trump are bold in what they do, at least I know the devil that I'm dealing with. It's all of you other mofos that pretend, and it's all of us that sit on the sidelines. If you are not a part of the solution, you are absolutely a part of the problem. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. To anybody who is doing this work because you want title and because you want accolades, sit your ass down and let the grown folks do the work. I mean, I'm gonna do y'all a favor, and that's why I set this up. It ain't even y'all a favor, it's something I should do. And I should look at the comments because I don't know how to do that. Oh, they're talking about Eastside getting a bad rap and the links in the community. I'm tired. I can't tell y'all that enough. I am tired, tired, and definitely ready to walk away. And being very clear that in this season, I'm building out what I need to build out to be able to walk away at the drop of a dime. So that whole call me and help me navigate through your eviction, navigate through GRU, navigate through the schools, navigate through criminal justice. If you can't help me, I can't. That's it. I need you all to know I got mine. I have my children. Whoever my people, they're my people. So I need to understand how is the expectation for me to do it, but you won't. That's what I need to know. That's it. That's your life. And this type of life is the first one where I've gone in and got going on. But I said, I want you to see how time. I ain't even got no lashes, no makeup. Need to have my braids redone. And I still got 3 or 4 hours more with the work. While half of y'all gonna sit around and watch TV, be on here, screenshot the work, but everybody else stuff. But the whole world is exploding right before your eyes, right in your face, and you've done nothing.